So, hello and good evening to all my dear children. Good evening, everyone. So, I hope my audio and video is good. Can you please let me know in the chat box if everything is good and we are good to go? Good evening, Abhishek, Aisha, Sachin. Good evening. So, I think we are good to start. So, today's session will be a brief 20 to 25-minute session, and this will be on guiding you on your further preparation towards INI-CET November as well as NEET PG 2026. We will be doing a more detailed, structured video later, but this one is to just give you an overview on how you should start your preparation from now. So I suppose the students who are listening to me are mostly students who have not done that well in NEET PG exam, or you have done decently well and you want to prepare for INI-CET, or maybe NEET PG 2025 did not go your way at all and you're preparing full-fledged for NEET PG 2026. So let's just go to the rest of the session. Now, how many of you saw today's cricket match, at least the highlights or the snippets part? So I reached home after my OP today. I missed the match, but I watched the highlights part, and even the highlights was so good to watch. What an exciting match! 35 runs we could defend in the last day. And who is the man of the moment? Yes, this guy, Mohammad Siraj, right? He took the 5-wicket haul and also the last wicket. But don't you think that this is a type of poetic justice? Because just a few weeks back, I'm sure that many of you might have noticed this particular scene. The same person, Mohammad Siraj, getting out, in probably what was a nail-biting finish for the India-England Test match at Lord's. But, Siraj could not hold on and he lost his wicket and India lost the Test match. So basically, why did I say this here? This is how life is. Maybe for a moment, you might be feeling that you are a loser. I'm just putting in inverted comma. You are a loser, or you're not able to be successful. But again, life will always give you another chance. That is what I want to tell all my dear students upfront. Life will give you chances. Your day will come. Maybe now you feel that I'm feeling so dejected, things are not going my way, but there will be a day where you will feel proud of yourself and you will make your parents proud as well, and obviously teachers like us as well. Now, this is something that I have just posted even last year as well. This is again to convey a similar sort of message. This is the name board outside my outpatient department. And I just wrote this last year after the NEET PG results, but again, I am reiterating that. No patient waiting outside knows my NEET PG or NEET SS rank. Nobody knows if I am a rank holder, right? The patients who are waiting outside, they do not know that. Nobody knows if I failed ever or took multiple attempts to clear NEET PG or NEET SS. What I want to tell all my dear students is that finally, what matters is the final destination that you reach. So you please don't be under too much of pressure for the NEET PG results. Even if it is bad, or let's say a very bad rank that you have for NEET PG, you can still try again. Give yourself one more chance. Please be kind to yourself. We always teach children, right? You must be kind to others. But I always tell my students, be kind to yourself first. Give yourself another chance. And finally, what matters is the destination that you reach. And never think that a single exam is more important than your life as such. This is something that I want to, tell all my dear students now. Right. So moving forward, Well, I know that for those of you who are listening to me, you are having two thoughts in mind. Sir, I am I am going to prepare, but should it be INI-CET or NEET PG? This is the first thing. Now, first, let me tell you who should prepare for INI-CET. That is what I'm going to tell you first. Number one, you have given your NEET PG. The performance was decent, but since the paper of NEET PG 2025 was relatively easy, you are just worried if you will get the branch of your choice. So you're not so confident that you will get the branch of your choice. You are in a dilemma. My dear students, please don't wait. Please don't wait for the entire process of counseling to be over, because then to start preparing after that will be difficult. I've always told my students throughout my teaching career that the only time that you should stop preparing for an exam like NEET PG or INI-CET is only when you have got that seat that you have deserved. So, my dear friends, you have to stop only after that. So, even if you are in dilemma, please keep preparing for INI, because INI is due in 3 months or so, and yes, you have a good chance for INI-CET. The second group of people are those who will, once the NEET PG results are announced, you may have a rank within, say, 20,000. So if your rank is within 20,000, maybe in a span of 3 months, like August, September, October, because the exam tentatively, as of now, tentatively, as per the website, it says 9th November. Remember, it can change, but this is the tentative date. So you've got August, September, October within 3 months. If you want to have a change of fortune, I think you will have to put some dedicated effort, and those students who get a rank within 20,000 can probably target the November. Okay, within 10,000, definitely yes. Within 10 to 20, if you feel that you can go for a full-fledged attempt at INI-CET, it is still possible. That is what I want to tell you. So the others not belonging to this particular category can prepare seriously for the NEET PG. I am seeing the comments in the chat box. My dear students, you please keep posting your doubts, your queries, what you want to ask. Once I have covered my points, definitely I'll be taking your queries as well. Now, planning for the INI-CET exam. Now remember, INI-CET, when you plan for an exam with just 3 months in hand, you have to be bang on in your strategy right from day one. You will not have any sort of warm up period. There is no relaxation period. You have to be game on from day one. That is right from tomorrow. So when you plan for the INI-CET exam, step number one is to understand the pattern of INI-CET. Remember, INI-CET is an exam with more emphasis on first and second prof subjects. It's not that the other prof subjects do not have representation, but what I'm trying to tell you is that in comparison to NEET PG examination, the relative emphasis for first and second prof subjects are more. The second point I want to tell you is, for my children who are listening to me, may be dejected after NEET PG, if you think, sir, INI-CET is not for me, sir, I don't think I can achieve that. But my dear children, let me tell you that INI-CET, I feel, is a lot easier than NEET PG. Why do I say that? Number one, the pattern of INI-CET is more predictable compared to that of NEET PG, because you will have a rough idea on the pattern of INI-CET. But NEET PG is not like that. It is quite unpredictable in its pattern. Now for INI-CET, they have got usually certain specific areas. So the emphasis on the previous year topics is much more in INI-CET than NEET PG, right? Very, very important. You will have to emphasize on the previous year topics, which means the last 5 year previous year topics you have to be thorough. So every year you have got two INI-CETs. You will have to go for the last 5 year INI-CET previous year topics, and those topics you should be very, very strong at. Now, considering the short time that you have in hand, it's like 3 months you have got. So let's take 2 months for preparation and then 1 month for a solid revision. That is what I would suggest for INI-CET. And yes, maybe if the exam happens on November 9, the last 2 weeks or so, you can have another super fast chota revision for the INI-CET exam as well. That is also very important. Now, for students who are preparing for INI-CET, I would also say that since the time with you is relatively limited, I would suggest you to focus more on the quick revision program videos more than the main videos now. Because yes, I know that you want to go through the main videos, but please look at the time that you have in hand. Always, when you go for a battle, you always have a look at the resources that you have in hand. And what is the most important limiting resource that you have here? It is time. It is time. And since time is limited, I would suggest you to go through the revision videos. Now, if you ask me, sir, when we go through the revision videos, don't you think that we will have lacunae in our preparation? Well, if you are reasonably solid in your preparation, that is what I said, you have to decide yourself whether you are targeting INI-CET or NEET PG. This is very, very important. If you feel that you are targeting INI-CET, you have to go through the revision videos. Now, let me just tell you an example. If you look at my revision videos in the DocTutorials app, I'll just tell you, look at these. I've just put the screenshot. The videos that I've done in the revision section, they are very, very short. You can see a video of Pulse is just 15 minutes, whereas the main video is over 1 hour. I have summarized it into 15 minutes, hypertension 15 minutes, JVP, another big topic, in 10 minutes, heart sounds 8 minutes, heart murmurs, which is often confusing for many, I have summarized in 9 minutes, ECG basics again 6 minutes, interpretation part again divided into 2 videos each of 16 minutes, tachyarrhythmia 18 minutes, bradyarrhythmia 7 minutes, the AHA algorithm on arrhythmia management 19 minutes. And you can see all these disorders of cardiology, they are made into very small videos. A big topic like cardiomyopathy I've summarized into 18 minutes. So you can see that the QRP section of DocTutorials, not just medicine alone, for all subjects, all faculties have taken good effort in making these concise, crisp revision videos. So for those who are targeting INI-CET, I would say you have to be thorough with the QRP videos, right? That has to be taken care of, and you will have to give QBank. You have to practice MCQs of QBank, and very importantly, daily you will have to devote time such a way that 70% of your time can be for studies and 30% of your time for MCQs. At the same time, if you are someone who is not that good in MCQ solving and you feel that you always have got trouble in this MCQ mode, what you can do is that you can make 60% into your theory learning and 40% for MCQ practice. That is what you can do, right? You have to give yourself grand test as well. If you are targeting INI-CET, I would suggest that you give weekly grand test from now. You give weekly grand test from now, at least in the first month, maybe once in two weeks if you're not that confident, but still I would suggest weekly grand test for someone who is seriously preparing for the INI-CET exam, right? Now, this is basically my Instagram academic page. So if you have got any queries after this session, you can leave me a message in my Instagram ID as well, because WhatsApp messages I may miss. So you can send me a message in Instagram. This is the QR code of my medicine WhatsApp channel as well. You can follow this as well. So for INI-CET, yes, we will be guiding you. I will be forming a group as well for the INI-CET preparation. Those who are already there in my 2025 group for NEET PG and INI-CET, I'll be sharing the link in the group very soon, either today or tomorrow. But if you're not there in my WhatsApp academic groups, you can send me a message in Instagram. I'll be sending you the link of joining the group. Now coming to the next part is preparing for the NEET PG examination. Now I already told you who should prepare for NEET PG, and this is an important thing I want to tell you. Many a times what happens is, suppose you're ranked for NEET PG exam is say over 1 lakh. And then what happens is you think, okay, the next exam that is coming up is INI-CET. Let me prepare for INI-CET. 3 months, let me see what I can do. Now what happens is that you will have a very immature, a very immature preparation for this INI-CET over a 3 month period, which actually can backfire. Some students might think that, sir, don't you think this might give us momentum preparing for the NEET PG exam? But if your rank is not that good, you have to be solid. You have to build the bricks. The building has to be constructed now. Now, for that, you will have to spend time. So, my dear students, for such a student, I would not suggest some sort of a target like INI-CET. Please prepare for NEET PG exam itself. Another point I want to tell you is not to wait for the date declaration. This is again something that can happen, because many students, what happens is that, they might think, okay, let the date of NEET PG be announced. I will start my preparation after that. But my dear students, don't you understand that National Board has always been unpredictable with the dates? Do you think you want to wait for the NEET PG exam date declaration to start your preparation? Then you will be too late. You should not do that. That is why I've highlighted in red ink. Do not wait for the date declaration. You have to start now. If you are, too much dejected after NEET PG, maybe you can take a week off. But otherwise, I want you to resume studies as soon as possible without taking a break, a bigger break, because sometimes a break can cause a loss of momentum. So the first point is, do not wait for date declaration. And then NEET PG, you please understand, compared to INI-CET, is quite unpredictable in terms of the pattern. So do not take a chance. What do I mean by that? Now, those students who have given the NEET PG for the first time, I'm sure that many of you listening to me have already given the NEET PG, and you have felt, sir, it was not that difficult, right? I see so many familiar topics, so don't you think that, a decent attempt, I should be getting a good rank for next NEET PG? My dear students, please understand, never trust the National Board. Why do I say that? Because see, I have seen these National Board exams not just for NEET PG, but FMG and also for NEET Super Speciality as well. Because, I'm probably, maybe the only faculty who's teaching for NEET Super Speciality, FMG and the NEET PG examination. So I know that National Board has always been unpredictable. Though the pattern this time seems more PYT based, next time it may not be like that. You cannot predict, unlike INI-CET. INI-CET is more predictable. So you might ask me, so sir, what are you trying to tell us? Are you trying to scare us, telling that it is unpredictable? No, my dear children. What I'm only trying to tell you is, you prepare to whatever be the question pattern that is put in front of you. You must have the level of knowledge to conquer that. For that, you will have to put in genuine effort, so that over the next few months of rigorous effort and dedication that you put, when you go to the NEET PG 2026 exam, on that particular day, even if the exam is highly based on PYTs or it is a difficult paper based on scenarios, you must be able to handle. This is what, because if you just focus only on PYTs alone, then you might land up in trouble. I am saying PYTs are important, and first you will have to focus on them as well. But NEET PG exam being unpredictable, you will have to give emphasis on most of the topics as well. That is what I want to tell you. It is very unpredictable. So that is what I have written here. PYTs are important in NEET PG as well, but I've just skipped something that is, I've just skipped writing very important, right, compared to the INI-CET. That is, PYTs are important here, INI-CET very important. Now, for those who are preparing for NEET PG exam, I would suggest you go with the main videos, because I know that many of you might be thinking, sir, can I prepare with revision videos alone? My dear student, if you are preparing for NEET PG and your current preparation is not that great, I will not advise you to start with revision videos. You can go for revision videos for certain systems that you are confident. For example, suppose you are my student, you have already attended my, say, rheumatology class, or maybe cardiology class, maybe during internship or something of that sort. So you have already listened to the entire lectures. Now for that particular system, you just need to revise. In that case, for that system alone, you go for revision video. So you have to be very selective. As far as possible, main videos, but for systems that you are thorough, you can go for the, the shorter videos. Now, when I say main videos, I know that I'm addressing three categories of students. Number one are the students who are relying on the recorded lectures. Number two, the students who are going for online live lectures. We have got the workbook based online live course in DocTutorials as well. That is a second group of students, the students who are learning this as a workbook based course from their home. Third is face to face. So for these three category, I'm saying main videos means your lecture notes. That is what I'm trying to tell you, whether it is face to face or online live or recorded. Now, next point I want to tell you is that there is something known as art of note making. Now, many students are casual while they make notes. My dear students, a very important point I want to tell you is when you make notes preparing for NEET PG, please make sure that you make these notes in a revisable format. Very, very important. You make the notes in a revisable format, only then you will revise it better towards the end. Because once you write down the notes, okay, you as far as possible write it down neatly with good clarity. If there are flow charts, just draw them. And after that, when you learn it or revise it, if there is some point that you feel that you are forgetting it often, you just mark it. And what is the advantage? For example, you have listened to my class on rheumatology. Okay, so rheumatology is a relatively easier system. Now, suppose you have listened to my lecture on rheumatology, either face to face or online live or recorded. Now, you have made the notes. Okay. Now, when it comes to revision, I am of the opinion that you should not spend time to revise the entire notes, cover to cover. You may not get time. Maybe in the first revision, you might get time, first revision. But when it comes to second revision, you have to be selective, and that is selective revision. Selective revision means even in the system of rheumatology, you will have certain areas that you find volatile. For example, maybe the immunofluorescence patterns in case of, the anti-nuclear antibodies, that you might feel it to be a bit volatile, or maybe the other antibodies, or maybe management of some condition like APLA syndrome, whatever it is. But something that you're likely to forget, you actually highlight with a different ink, so that when it comes to the second or third round of revision, things become a lot easier for you. Mistake that commonly happens is that students do not do selective revision towards the second and third round, which means they usually tell us, sir, I am taking exactly the same time for the second round of revision as I did for the first round, and the same is the case with the third round. So that is what can happen. So for this, that is what I said, you have to highlight areas that you are likely to forget. Again, aggressive MCQ practice is very important. If you are attending the face-to-face class, if you ask me, sir, what course I should join, I'll be very honest with you. In priority, I would tell you, number one, face-to-face. That is the best course, because that will give you the best discipline. Because see, do you know when the NEET PG exam date is? I don't know. If none of us knows, don't you think you will have to have more focus? So a classroom environment is always better to stay focused and disciplined, because when you watch a lecture, there are umpty number of chances that you get distractions, right? So always my first go will be face-to-face class. Number two, definitely any day above recorded will be the online live lectures. So online live lectures is simulation of the the face-to-face classes, wherein just like face-to-face, it is workbook based. The same faculty will be teaching you. It will be online live. Okay. So that is what I want to tell you. I'll just show you. This is the online live where you will have the workbooks being couriered to your address, and then you can listen to the lectures. And many students actually ask me, sir, what is the difference between the recorded lectures and the online live lectures? The difference is that in case of online live, it is mostly workbook based. So the advantage is it saves a lot of time compared to the recorded, wherein you listen to the lecture and may have to write. Otherwise, you will have to go for the hard copy notes. So what I would always suggest to you is to go for the online live over the recorded lectures. That is always better, and you will get app access as well. So in case you miss a particular online live lectures, you can again go back to the recorded version of the online live batch as well. Okay, so that is what I want to tell you regarding the course. Now another point I want to tell you is, whatever be the course that you opt for, face to face, online, live, or recorded, make sure you have got a good study environment. This is again very important. Free of distractions. You should have a good study environment, free of distractions, because see, this is a very important year of your academic life, in terms of the direction you are heading to. And for that, you will have to give yourself a congenial environment. Forget about the marriage functions, forget about parties. You will have to give time for your preparation. That is very, very important. So you will have to blunt yourself emotionally. Means, you will have less time for social life, cut off all distractions, less number of social media use, and try to be devoted to your studies. And to begin with, a bare minimum of 8 hours, to begin with, at least 8 hours bare minimum to start with per day you have to devote, because it is such a competitive exam and you will have to give yourself enough time for your preparation. That is very, very important. And only if you start early, that is what I want to tell you. After the environment point, I want to tell you is that if you want to achieve this target of 3 rounds of revision, you will have to start early. Only if you start early, because many of you might think, sir, when is the exam? I hear that it may be in March. See, I also do not know. But, just thinking that if the exam is in March, many students might think, sir, maybe 1 month, I'll just go for a trip around and then come back and then start. Please understand, there is no warm-up phase. You will have to start your serious preparation from now, and you will have to go for a devoted, because if you are planning for a good seat, if you're planning for a branch of your choice, you will have to put that much effort. And for putting that effort, you should not wait. There is the best day to start your preparation is always tomorrow, or maybe even today, right now. So that is what I want to tell you. And lastly, lastly, I want to tell you, my dear children, never underestimate yourself. I've had many students over the last several years thinking, sir, do you think I am eligible to get INI-CET? I've never been a topper. I have never done my MBBS. I've always dreamt of a prestigious institute, but I couldn't. Do you think this is for me? I will tell you, if you are in for a dedicated effort with utmost determination and focus, it is possible, but only possible with your effort. No half-hearted effort, because this is a competitive exam, and every year, mind you, the competition is always going to increase only. Take no doubt on that. The competition will increase every year, but you must be ready for the game. Even if you are not the best student academically so far, if you are able to devote yourself fully for the next few months, I am confident that you will be able to get a good rank. So that is what I want to tell all my dear children. Now I'll just quickly take the comments in the chat box. I am just going through the comments. Uh, so Uwais is asking for internship students also discuss. I would strongly urge you to follow the online live pack, because the classes are towards the evening hours and the recorded lectures also will be provided. So I think that would be good for you. Okay. So what could be the future papers, like how to approach? Currently, I'm in second year. So Ajna, for you, I would say that you will have to manage your prof exams and your entrance preparation simultaneously. So I think the important thing is to tune both of them. And see, as I said about the exam patterns, you would have already understood the difference between NEET PG and INI-CET. So you should have a watch at the exam questions that are coming up, so that when you prepare, you will find a better direction to prepare. Okay, right. So Ajna is saying that I've been the university topper in my first and second year. Okay, you have learned from DT. Okay, thank you. Good. So Abhishek is asking, sir, should we follow the same live classes notes are changed now with the new live classes. So Abhishek probably has attended some part of the live classes during internship. I think, if you've already attended the live classes, then I think you can just go for the revision videos plus an aggressive MCQ solving. But if you are not too much focused, or you are having a trouble in self studies, maybe you can think of live lectures. Okay, right. Somebody is asking, live classes are sufficient? Online live is good always, as I said, face to face first, then online live, then recorded. Okay, right. So Dan is asking how to approach weak subjects. See, if you are preparing for INI-CET and if you have weak subject, especially the first prof, second prof, if you are having problem in these subjects, in the month of August itself, you try to correct your deficiency. The weak subject should not remain as your weak subject. You have to make necessary corrections. One thing that I used to do was, I was not so good in biochemistry, PSM. So what I used to do was, every day, some time, maybe 30 minutes or 45 minutes, I would devote for maybe biochem or PSM, so that every day seeing this subject, finally you fall in love with the subject. So that is what I did. I exposed myself more frequently to the subject that I felt I was weak at, so that I was more confident about those subjects. Okay. Archana is asking, will making notes with QRP for INI-CET affect NEET PG preparation? So Archana, what I understand is, you might be a student who is preparing for NEET PG, but you have a thought that maybe INI-CET also I may stand a chance. See, what you can do is, for the subjects, suppose you are attending face to face or online live, for the subjects that have not been covered, or according to the timetable that has been given to you, whatever subjects are not going to be covered before the INI, maybe you can just go for the revision videos with aggressive MCQ solving. Now again, I think your NEET PG rank, Archana, will actually give you a direction whether you should prepare for NEET PG, or you should be definitely giving a solid chance for INI-CET itself. As I told you, if your rank is within 20,000, I think you can still give a solid attempt for the INI-CET. Okay. So there is a question by Venkat Sai. So the question is, what is the difference between recorded videos and online live? So I think recorded videos will be slightly more lengthier, number one, compared to online live, which is more concise and crisp. Online live is workbook based, whereas recorded lectures are not workbook based. And so you'll take more time to write, or otherwise you'll have to go for the hard copy notes. So essentially online live is always better. It will actually save your time as well. Okay. So Prakash Pandian is asking, any face-to-face class program in Tamil Nadu this year? Well, as of now, no. The face-to-face programs are available in Kerala, in Calicut, Trivandrum, and in Hyderabad. So these three centers are where we'll have the DocTutorials face-to-face classes. Abhinav, you're asking, are the preparation strategies for INI-CET and NEET? As I said, I've already told you the comparison of the exam patterns of INI-CET as well as NEET PG. So I hope you have got a decent idea on that, and the subject weightage also will have a slight difference between INI-CET and NEET PG, but INI-CET is more predictable exam. Okay. So Chidvilas Rao is asking, when will be NEET PG 2026 tentatively? So let me tell you, be very honest, even if I was the NB director, I don't think I would have even the slightest clue now, because that has been the trend always. And as I speak to you, all of a sudden today a sudden notification came that NEET super specialty exam is on November 7th and 8th of this year. Actually, it was never expected at that time. It was expected in, say, at least Jan, I'll tell you. But students, my super specialty students are actually shocked seeing the exam dates. That is what I said. With national board, you can never, guess the dates. That's what I want to tell you. Okay. So Kevin is asking, I need to start my preparation from now. Could I go for INI-CET with the revision video plus QBank plus PYQ? Yes, definitely that is a good strategy. If you have got a rank within 20,000, and if you feel that you can devote at least 10 hours a day for the next 3 months with dedicated effort, it is still possible for you. But it will require good effort, but it's still possible. Okay, especially the revision videos and the doc tutorials are awesome for all subjects. I think you should definitely go through them is what I would suggest. Okay. Right. So that is what I want to suggest to all my dear students. So thank you so much everyone for joining, and the remaining communication will continue through my WhatsApp groups. As I said, if you're already there in the 2025 NEET PG INI-CET group, I'll be sharing the link for the new group in those groups. If you're not, you can send me a message in Instagram so that I'll be happy to reply to you and guide you as well. So my dear students, let's take inspiration from this awesome moment that I have seen. I'm so happy for Mohammed Siraj, because even I felt my heart to be heavy seeing the dismissal of Mohammed Siraj after the Lord's test. But I'm sure that there is a Siraj in all of you, and let's all strive hard to come back, and let's aim for glory. And as faculties, the entire DocTutorials team will be there to guide you as well, and we are having much more in store for you. We are going to definitely mentor you as the whole team. And thank you so much everyone for joining, and stay tuned. Thank you so much. Thank you so much everyone. So if you're watching this video later, you can just message me in Instagram if you've got any more queries as well. Thank you so much.